Hi everyone, I'm Kisa Paludan. I'm the podcast host on Soultalk, and I'm just about to interview Sri Ravi Shankar, also called Guru Dev, in his hotel here in Copenhagen. And I will give you my first question, and then we'll cut to the actual interview. So the first question is, so you travel around the world, making a stand for peace, and you invite the rest of us to stand with you on this journey towards peace. And as a psychologist, I find that we have lots of inner parts that we are not in peace with, and that we need to learn how to meet our inner parts from the loving compassion part of ourselves. But how do we actually do that? How do we make this transformation so that we create peace inside out? Out, but how do we do that? It seems difficult for us.
Yes, when you are stressed, everything appears difficult. Simple things like sleeping is difficult. When you want to go for a walk, you feel so exhausted. Stress has an impact of making you feel desperate. You know, a stressed person doesn't enjoy even his or her meal.
No.
They don't enjoy anybody's company. Even their own beloved, even their own spouse, their own children. They'll start, yelling at their own children.
Yeah.
So the root cause is stress. We need to eliminate that.
So do you think that if we eliminate stress, we'll automatically get contact with more peace inside?
Yes, definitely. Peace is our very nature. You don't have to buy it from outside.
No.
You only have to remove the dirt which is covering the peace.
So peace is our nature, and you also say that happiness is our nature?
Correct. That's one step further. First you find peace, and then when you go deeper, peace is very, it's very ordinary. But when you go a little deeper, you find it happiness as our nature.
And I think a lot of people, at least in the Western world, we think that this is something we have to find outside of ourselves.
That's the big mistake.
Yeah.
Peace is where you are. You have to find it within yourself.
So it's a removal of the blocks to
blocks, and then radiate that energy. If you radiate peaceful energy, and it can impact everything else around.
Yeah. So it seems that human beings go through suffering and falling through life, and that it brings an invitation for inner transformation. But is it necessary? Do we need the suffering and the falling to evolve? Or?
I would say pain is inevitable. Birth was very painful. Then growing up is painful. The children try to walk. That was, you fall 10 times before you start walking. 100 times maybe. So pain and pleasure are part of life. You love someone and then you get pain from the love also. Correct? Any pleasure brings pain along with it sometime or other later. But suffering is optional. Suffering is that what we hold on to the pain and hold in our head. If you are given 10, if you have 10 good moments and one bad moment, you holding on to that one bad moment, making it into 20 is suffering. And that you do because you are not educated in how to handle the mind.
Yeah, and you're right, but how do we handle the mind? Because we tend to shy away from pain and numb ourselves or suppress pain.
Yeah, neither suppressing nor encouraging it. There are people who encourage the pain and say, oh, pain is necessary, suffering is necessary in life. When you put that thought in your mind that suffering is necessary, then you attract, as you sow social, you will attract more suffering. What we need to do is pain or pleasure, we take it as they come. And have a very equanimous mindset, equanimity in both pain and pleasure. Then that is what is yoga is. Yoga's definition is having equanimity in success or failure, in pain or pleasure. Then you rise to another dimension, another level, which you can call is bliss. And there is no pain, there is no opposites. That's the non-dual consciousness, where you go beyond all these dualities and you repose in the pure wisdom and you radiate that love, unconditional love. And this is where that's what the human race is longing to experience and be in. Because everybody wants love that is free from pain, happiness which is free from suffering, right? And these can be achieved only by uplifting our spirit. Only through spiritual wisdom and practices this is possible.
It's possible.
Okay?
Yeah. So this sensation of bliss and oneness and connectedness, I guess we get the sensation of being interconnected.
Correct. For that, what we need to do, broaden your awareness, see life from a bigger perspective. What you are worried about, all small, insignificant things is what is bothering us. Instead, if you want to be bothered, think big and keep bother about the climate change in the world, bother about bigger things in the world, So many species are getting extinguished. So if your botheration is bigger, it doesn't stress you.
So to get out of your own suffering or pain, you think bigger.
Correct. And see the bigger pain that people are having. Your pain will look very small. That's one way to get out. The second is to see these pain and pleasure, they come and go. And it has come many times in the past and it will go now also. Not paying too much importance to that. And third thing is, see, there is a bigger power, the big consciousness. Yourself is there, then there is an aspect in you that doesn't change. Logging on to that non-changing aspect in you makes a very big difference. It just brings so much stability to your life. It makes you take things with more patience, and it improves your intuitive ability and all that.
And make everything that's perishable easier to live with.
Much easier. I mean, that is when the miracles will start happening in life. Okay, one last question.
So, if there is something you wanted to say to the Danish people, I mean, we are quite well known for being happy people and doing well in many different areas, but we also suffer from loneliness and mental health issues.
Correct. Danish people are wonderful people, and they have made Danish cookies very famous around the world. And I would like to give one suggestion to Danish people. This is the time for you to turn inward and do some meditation. Everyone should. Like, Danish people are taking bicycle as a mode of transportation more than people of any other part of the world, I heard. So you have been pioneer in starting many things, and Danish people have such a broad mindset. Now what you need to have is more happiness centers and more social interaction amongst yourself, and meditation and Sudarshan Kriya. More and more people do Sudarshan Kriya. You will find you are just off the this track of feeling loneliness. Just today we had in the Danish parliament discussion on mental health, and many scientists came up and they presented how Kriya has helped here also for many gang members and prisoners and women, and also returning war veterans. So it was very moving to see that the changes that has happened. And I think everyone should start doing meditation. That's all. Otherwise, you have everything. Okay?
Thank you so much.